I'm gay.
Hey kids, so there's plenty of right-wing dudes that a lot of people look up to. People like Steven Crowder, Jordan Peterson, and Ben Shapiro. I'm sure there's a lot more, but these are the guys that come to mind when I think of it. These are the guys that are always featured in the classic, oh, watches Steven Shapiroson destroys liberals with cold hard facts. There's probably a large percentage of red pill dudes and MGTOWs who look up to these guys, so I figured we could look at the guys that these guys consider father figures, since we already look at them a lot. There's this hilarious video Ben Shapiro did as a way to fearmonger his audience into believing that the LGBTQ is somehow taking over, and I just wanted to sit here and laugh at it with you.
Nina West performed an original song about the meaning of the rainbow pride flag for small children, because again, Nickelodeon is directed at small children. It is not directed at teens. It is not directed at adults. It is directed at small children. And so we are going to now indoctrinate children into the wonders of various sexual orientations.
Yeah, when I was a small child, I was indoctrinated into the belief system that I have to wipe my ass when I go to the bathroom. We can't let this abuse of small children continue.
And the complete moral relativity of human sexuality. And we're going to do this to like 4 and 5-year-olds.
Well, now hold on, Ben. Disney has been showing scenes of people kissing for decades. Why have you never spoken up on all the people making out in media made for children until now? You obviously care about protecting the children from sexual situations, so where's the anti-kissing scene videos? I don't see a lot of that on your channel.
Because confusing children is what people are in the business of doing. Because if you can confuse children, and if you can tell them that true glory lies in how you identify on the inside, as opposed to, you know, complying with basic societal norms, not with regard to even sexuality, but with regard to just decent human behavior.
Well, yeah, Ben, we want to teach kids that the true glory lies in how you identify on the inside. What the fuck are you teaching the mini Shapiros? Now, kids, if you ever like a man instead of a woman, it'll ruin Papa Shapiro's career.
There is no way to discuss gay pride without coming into conflict, when you're coming to discuss this with children, without coming into conflict with the reality, which is that it is a sexual orientation, which implies sex, which implies you now have to discuss sex with small children. And I have TV people discussing sex with small children and gender orientation with small children.
Look at how he keeps fumbling over his words because his tiny brain is realizing that what he's saying doesn't make any sense. But his mouth is like, no, keep going. We're making money, keep going. But Ben, heterosexuality is a sexual orientation too. What about when your kids see Mickey Mouse kissing Minnie Mouse and asks why they're doing that? Oh, honey, it's just what grown-ups do. That's great. That's what people who aren't heterosexual want you to say when your kid eventually sees a same-sex couple. God, we haven't even gotten to the commercial yet, but Ben has managed to spew out all this bullshit. Like, it's amazing how much bigotry he can get out of that little mouth in just 90 seconds.
Here is a drag queen lecturing your child on a bunch of stuff, including, by the way, BLM. There's like a BLM fist that appears halfway through this particular video.
It always fascinates me when people are so loud about disagreeing with like the Black Lives Matter movement, because all that movement is saying is that Black lives matter. It shouldn't even be a political thing. Teaching your kids not to hate people based on the color of their skin is probably one of the first things you should do, actually. You know, there's shapes, letters, numbers, colors. Don't hate black people. But Ben is really against that for some reason. I really wonder why.
So you get a lecture on the gay pride flag by a man dressed as a woman. And this is going out to 4 and 5-year-olds. This is woke indoctrination of small children on sexual matters. Don't tell me that that isn't abuse of children. It is. It is mass abuse of children.
According to Ben, teaching your kids that gay people exist and that black people are still people is woke indoctrination. How does this man have such a huge following? Oh, right. We live in America. My mistake, guys.
If somebody came into your house and started doing this to your child without your consent, you would immediately call the cops. Okay, I'm not talking about like physically abusing the child. I'm talking about if an adult came into your house, a man dressed as a woman came into your house and started singing to your child about the wonders of various sexual orientations, and your kid's 5, you would call the cops.
I think Ben is the only person here who'd see a grown man breaking into their house and make it into like a gender issue. I can imagine it now. Like he gets onto his little podcast and he's like, oh, the liberals are out of their mind. One of them broke into my house to tell my child that they can be whoever they want. I mean, how funny would it be if a right-wing moron was attacked by another right-wing moron and pinned it on the left and ran with the story they made up in their head? Oh, again, sorry, my dumb foreigner brain. Right, we're in America. This is America. This is America. This is America. I'll get it right. Don't worry.
Okay, well, you turned on the TV, so the idea is that the consent is yours, that you have now consented. But how many parents have actually consented to seeing this? How many parents knew this was going to appear on Nick? Really, how many parents were sitting around going, I'll bet that what they're going to broadcast today is a radical gay propaganda video directed at children.
Just wanted to go ahead and put this here for all the Ben Shapiro fans that are going to flood my comments with, you're taking him out of context, meh. The context is that Ben Shapiro thinks a commercial about being yourself is radical gay propaganda. Propaganda used to be Donald Duck encouraging soldiers to kill the Japanese. Now it seems that telling children being gay is acceptable is propaganda. Every time a person on the right tells you that you're a snowflake for putting your preferred pronouns in your personal bio, just keep that in mind. That's how they think. Okay, so I'm not sure if I can play the commercial without getting dinged for copyright music, but I really need to play the clip for the sake of context. So if things get dead silent, it means that I had to remove it last minute to get past Susan, but I'll do subtitles just in case.
And here's some rather inappropriate material for children appearing on Nickelodeon.
Doesn't it just fill you with pride, showing who you are on the inside? Wave that pride flag up high, be true to you. Happy Pride, everyone! Yeah!
It fills you with pride, showing who you are on the inside.
Wait, hold on. Wait, this was uploaded in June. Wait, hold on. What month is Pride Month? What? This video was uploaded during the 1 month of the year that the LGBTQ are, like, encouraged to be themselves. And that's when Ben chose to upload this? Ladies and gentlemen and all other beautiful beings. That's a move only a slimy cunt would make. I don't know, like, imagine going to a party on Cinco de Mayo and going, it's actually pronounced May 5th. I realize transphobia is a year-round thing for these people, but you couldn't keep your mouth shut for 1 fucking month? Really? Is that where we're at now?
So it used to be the kids need to be told about this stuff because if you are 5 or 6 years old, there may be a kid in your class who has 2 mommies or 2 daddies, right? That was the original thing, right? This was the what was it? Has 2 mommies. Heather has 2 mommies, right? The Heather has 2 mommies book was a controversy maybe 15 years ago. The idea was you need to teach kids because there might be a kid in the class who doesn't have a mom and a dad, but actually has 2 dads or 2 moms.
But wait, I thought the right were part of the belief that openly gay people is like a Zoomer thing that people are doing for attention. You're telling me there were kids' books in 1989 that tried to teach kids the importance of accepting people with different sexualities? Gee, it's almost like Nickelodeon is trying to do the exact same thing 30 years later. Yeah, Ben said that problem was a book 15 years ago. It was actually published in the Stone Ages of 1989. Nothing wrong with getting the date wrong. It just shows you how long the LGBTQ has been waiting to be taken seriously. Obviously much longer than 30 years, but here we are 30 years later after this harmless kids book was published, and people are still freaking out about the idea of their poor baby having to see 2 women standing together rather than a man and a woman.
Hey, now, that was foolish because why would you have to teach every kid in America about this as opposed to just dealing with it when your kid comes home and asks about it?
Well, let's think about it. Okay, so why teach every kid all at once when we could teach them individually at different points of their lives? So why should we teach every kid during Christmas what Hanukkah is when we could just tell them any other time, really? It's frustrating because I know Ben is smarter than this, but it's like he knows he has to make something so simple sound so outlandish and ridiculous to appease all his conservative right-wing fans. The answer to his question is so simple that there's no way he doesn't get it. But if he said he was fine with it, he'd probably lose a couple thousand supporters, and he can't let that happen, so just play dumb, I guess.
Now, this is directed at children themselves. You, a 5 or 6-year-old, you might identify as a trans kid. You might identify as a drag queen. Okay, it's an attempt to indoctrinate confusion into children. That's all it is.
Oh my god, I even forgot that most right-wingers don't believe that some people are just born gay. I clearly didn't do my research before starting this. Mainly because I didn't realize how outlandishly stupid one person could be in such a short amount of time. And holy shit, this is sponsored by Raycon headphones. Dude, I'm about to take my Raycons and smash them with a brick because I've seen these things featured on so many like MGTOW, right-wing, generally bigoted channels at this point. Oh, what? So they're bigots because they don't agree with you? No, it's because he thinks teaching kids to accept people regardless of their race, gender, or sexuality is a form of propaganda. You know, that thing that was used for war?
I've covered wars, you know.
Okay, so Nina West didn't just do a song for Nickelodeon writ large. Nina West also did a song for Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues is directed at 3-year-olds. I have small children. Blue's Clues is directed at 3, 4, 5-year-old children. These are small kids. There are no 11-year-olds watching Blue's Clues. And now you have Blue's Clues having its own pride parade featuring a drag queen for small children. Don't tell me this isn't about indoctrination of kids. It's 100% about indoctrination of kids.
Well, okay, Ben, let me teach you something about learning and children, I guess. The best time to teach children stuff is when they're young, so it sticks with their developing brains. That's why we give babies stuff like shapes and colors, so it sticks onto their little soft spot, you know? So if we teach children from a young age that hating someone for being different is wrong, we won't have tragedies like this.
Oh, fuck off. There are shootings all the time that have nothing to do with gender.
Whoa, you're right. It's almost like gun control is another thing we should take care of. But we won't because we can't even get past the first hurdle of fucking allowing black people to exist.
And by the way, if you think the people who are doing this don't know what they're doing, you're an idiot. Of course they know what they're doing. Their idea is that they have to counter you, the parent. You, the evil parent, the evil traditionalist parent who teaches your kids that there's a difference between men and women, and that men and women get married and then have babies.
First, I'm going to talk really fast so it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. Then, I'm going to call people who disagree with me an idiot because I'm right.
Hey, he's really smart. We should listen to him. Also, Ben, lesbian women can still have babies. What if I get the strangest feeling that conservatives don't want their high schoolers learning about sex education? And why do I feel like it has everything to do with homophobia? Okay, now Ben is freaking out about this person also being featured in Blue's Clues. So let's go ahead and watch some Blue's Clues, boys.
Here's what appeared on Blue's Clues.
It's time for a pride parade. Families marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. This family has two mommies. They love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. This family has two daddies. They love each other so proudly. These babas are non-binary. They love each other so proudly. Trans members of this family all love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Come join the fun.
You see how it morphed?
So in this harmless little commercial, there's nothing saying you need to be this way or you have to be that way. It's just showing off a parade made up of different sexualities, which makes sense when it's Pride Month. And kids are going to ask, well, what is Pride? What's involved in Pride Month? What do we do? What are we celebrating? This one says there's two daddies. This family is non-binary. This family has trans members and they love each other so proudly. Where is the indoctrination that Ben is talking about in that?
Again, these people think they are doing good. Understand that this is not people who are just making a market decision, because the market for this stuff is rather small. It is people who believe they are doing a social good by indoctrinating your kids in a particular style of thinking.
Yes, Ben, we wholeheartedly believe that teaching your kids to accept people is not only a smart thing to do, but a good thing to do. Do you not want your kids to accept black people, gay people, how about Mexicans? If you don't want them to accept all those people, then just say you want your children to be bigoted. Just go ahead and say it. Don't make this about indoctrination, propaganda. Just say you don't think Black Lives Matter. Just tell us that you don't want your kids sitting next to other homosexual kids. Oh, but you won't, because then you'd have to admit being a bigot, and that's not good for branding, is it?
The eventuality here is pretty obvious. You're going to send your 4 or 5-year-old kid to school. Your 4 or 5-year-old kid is going to say a dumb, confused things because kids who are 4 or 5 are dumb and confused. I know, I have small kids.
Kids say the stupidest, most dumb fucking shit in the world. I would know. I have dumb, stupid little Shapiros at home.
Your 4 or 5-year-old will go to school. And they'll say something like, I want to wear a dress today. A little boy. And instead of being at home where you would say, no, that's silly. Let's put on some pants. Instead of doing that, the teacher's going to be like, you should see how you feel in a dress.
Holy shit, God forbid the person teaching your children for minimum wage tells your child they should be themselves. I bet being Ben's kids is such a fucking drag. Imagine going to a toy store with Ben Shaboom Boom and you pick out a toy, only for your dad to go, no, you will not play with a feminine looking male. You will play with the off-brand Lego kit with the feminine colors taken out because I will not have my son being indoctrinated by the liberal propaganda. Ben, your kid putting on a dress or playing with girls' toys isn't gonna make them gay all of a sudden. I used to work with kids and they don't fucking care what gender the toy was made for. If it looks cool, they're gonna play with it. You're the one making it weird, not the radical left. Also, can we find a new word that isn't radical? Because every time I write or say radical, this clip from SpongeBob is all I can fucking think about.
It's radical. Radical.
It will be encouraged. And then, if you object as a parent, they will say that you are stifling your child's growth. Because what we have here is 2 conflicting visions of how kids are civilized. One suggests that kids must be civilized to a quote-unquote non-judgmental society in which all behavior is treated equivalently. except for religious and traditionalist behavior, which is treated with scorn.
Yeah, that's probably because your religion says that gay people are going to burn in a fire for all eternity because they were born a certain way. You can't shit talk people and expect them not to get angry in return, Dave. Oh, I mean Ben, shit. You can be whatever religion you want, but when you start stepping on other people's shoes, of course they're not going to be happy about it, Ben. And yeah, by telling your kids that they should not accept people with different lifestyles, you are stifling their growth. See, bigots are like crazy people, and what I mean by that is crazy people don't know they're crazy. Ben thinks it's okay to exclude homosexuality because he doesn't understand that by doing so, he is a bigot.
We say, listen, you're an adult, you get to do what you want. But what you don't get to do is indoctrinate kids. And those on the left, they say, you on the right don't get to do what you want, and we're going to indoctrinate your kids. That's what this conflict is going to come down to.
What world are you living in where you think that the left is controlling what the right is doing? Like, okay, remember when football players started kneeling during the Pledge of Allegiance and the right made this huge deal about it? I'll tell you, it's not the left taking women's rights to an abortion. It's not the left firing teachers for being open about being pansexual. And it certainly isn't the left breaking up peaceful protests, advocating for the lives of innocent Black Americans. Alright, and if you liked looking at this psycho with me, please let me know. It's something I certainly want to do more of in the future. Before I let you guys go, I just want to be clear, you can raise your kids however you want. They're not my kids, they're your kids, not mine. I just wanted to highlight how blatantly homophobic and transphobic Ben came off in this video. And I'm aware that there's another Daily Wire dude, and we're gonna look at him next week. I forget the name, but I'll put it right here so you guys know. So be sure to come back for that. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.